that voice inside our heads that says that we are not good enough, not smart enough, not pretty enough, not a good enough friend, not a good enough boss, not a good enough employee, not a good enough spouse. You know the list. It goes on and on and on. I've always had this perception in my head that I'm totally average. Average smarts, average looks, average athletic ability, you know, average Sara. Just like the book title, Sara, Plain and Tall. Except I'm not even tall. I'm average, 5'5". So, I mean, being average was fine. It's fine. It's literally like lukewarm water. You're not hot, you're not cold. But I realized something. I have never really been proud of myself for anything that I have ever done. I went to Baylor for undergrad, and I got a degree in finance. And I feel like that's something that I could have been proud of myself for. I probably should have been proud of myself for it, but I wasn't. You know why? Because I let that voice inside my head tell me that the smart people were the ones who were getting engineering and computer science degrees. So then I got a job at a consulting firm. And again, I was like, average. It's what everyone's doing. I know. I'm like, somebody throw an Eeyore costume down here because Winnie the Pooh, I literally sound like Eeyore. I'm like, oh, I got a good degree, got a good job, but I am just so average. So after that, after a few years in consulting, I got a job here at ExxonMobil. And within a few months of starting with the company, I had this colleague, and he told me about this program. It was called the Educational Reimbursement Refund Program. And it would pay for employees like me to go to law school. And I mean, I thought, law school, oh, that's cool. Because, I mean, it had always been a dream of mine to go to law school and become a lawyer. But I mean, just average. Average people don't do that. But then I started thinking, why not? Why can't I do that? So this is what I did. I studied for the LSAT. I took the LSAT. I definitely only told like 3 or 4 people at work because I was terrified that I was not going to get in. But I told a few people because they were helping me with writing me letters of recommendation, and they also were helping me with edit my admissions essay. Okay, so this super crazy thing happened. Me, average Sara, I got into law school. I got in at South Texas College of Law here in Houston. But I also got waitlisted at University of Houston. And if you don't know anything about law schools in Houston, let me tell you. So U of H is a higher ranked school than South Texas College of Law. So anytime anybody would tell me, they're like, Sara, that's so awesome, or congratulations, I'm so proud of you. This is what I would do. Literally, this is physically what I would do. Thanks, but I got waitlisted at U of H. Glad y'all are laughing, because this is what I was doing. I was discrediting an accomplishment of mine. This had been like a lifelong dream of mine. And here's the weird thing. It's weird to me because here I was discrediting, but the reality is, honestly, I was really excited to just only be going to South Texas College of Law. I actually was. I mean, I was proud of myself, but I had this fear that if I just simply said thank you, I become this like super arrogant and boastful person. Like, hey, look at me, I'm in law school, you know, the type. Okay, so I wanted to know, why is it so freaking hard to just accept a compliment? So I did some research. And I found out that there are 3 ways to shut down a compliment. The first way is to deflect. Now, this way is straight up rude. Somebody gives you a compliment, you don't even acknowledge it. I don't really see that very often, but that's a way. So the second way is to reciprocate. And that is when somebody says, hey, I like your shirt. And you respond with, thanks, I like your shirt. And what you're doing is you're trying to take that spotlight off of yourself. I know, I used to do it. I'm not going to do it anymore. But so you're taking the spotlight off of yourself, and you're taking away from that original intent of that person who gave you that compliment. And then the third way is to discount. And that is the example that I gave of thanks, but I got waitlisted at U of H. And I see this all the time. I see this in coworkers, friends, family. Perfect example. Hey, great job on that presentation. And what they'll say is, oh, thanks, but it wasn't that hard. Or, oh, thanks, so-and-so helped me. Or, oh, thanks, it's just my job. So the healthy thing to do whenever you get a compliment is just say thank you. Just say thank you, walk away. No, I'm kidding. Do not, yes, that can also be really rude. If you're like, thanks, just walk away. No, you say thank you, and then you just, move forward, move on with your day. Okay, so from the last few minutes of me talking, it should be blaringly obvious that I struggle with self-confidence. My parents divorced when I was 4 years old. And they both got remarried shortly after that. So, my whole childhood, anytime anyone would say, oh, I'm so sorry your parents are divorced, or, it must be really hard, I would say, no, it's awesome. I'm so lucky. I have 4 parents. Instead, most people only have 2. And that is true. It is true. I have 4 parents, so lucky. But I also had a mother who always talked really negative about herself. She put herself down. She always acted like she was this big in a room full of people. And guess what? I do the same. It is so easy for me to be proud of other people. It is so easy for me to see their accomplishments that they do and be so proud of them when I can't do it for myself. But here's the cool thing, y'all. We have the power to change. Just because we have lived a certain way, we have done certain things, like we can do things in our mind. We can change. We don't always have to do that. So I've also realized something. Sometimes something may feel like an inward struggle, something that we are dealing with all on our own. We don't think anybody knows. We think that it's all inside. Okay, well, the gig is up, because the reality, we convey that perception of ourselves all the time to people. And one way that we do that is through the big BL. The BL I'm talking about, body language, people. Okay, so if you have seen the Disney movie Frozen, you know the character Elsa. If you have not, I'm going to set the scene for you. Okay, so Elsa, she's one of the main characters. She has magical powers. Anything that she touches instantly freezes. And her whole life, actually not her whole life, I'm sorry, ever since she got the powers, she has been told to conceal those powers. Don't let anybody know. And the whole town knows. She touched something, froze, everything froze. So now the whole town knows that she has these magical powers. And she's feeling shameful. She's feeling embarrassed. She's feeling upset. So what does she do, like a lot of us? She runs away. She runs away to go be by herself. So as she is running up a mountain, this is what her body looks like. Shoulders are down, neck is down, head is down, everything is down. She also is, her arms are like this. Okay, side note, I did think she's literally like in the ice. She's on a mountain. She could be cold, but okay, but if y'all know the song, it literally says the cold never bothered me anyway. So I'm going with that she's not cold and that she's, protecting herself. Okay, but then she starts to sing the song, Let It Go. And no, I kind of do want to sing because y'all would probably laugh, but no, I am not going to sing the song. But she starts singing Let It Go, Let It Go. And she is building this beautiful, magnificent ice castle. And what she's doing is she's telling those people in the town, she's blocking them out. She's focusing on herself. She is seeing what she can do. And as she is building this beautiful, magnificent ice castle, you see it all over her body language. Her shoulders are out, her chest is expansive, her arms are out, her neck is up, and she's even smiling. And she is proud. But here's the thing about pride. There's two types of pride. There is authentic pride, which, yes, authentic pride is a good pride, but there is also hubristic pride. And hubristic pride is not the good pride. So the thing about hubristic pride, it can thrive in hierarchical organizations. And people with hubristic pride are dominant, they are controlling, they act defensive whenever people try to provide any sort of input or ask questions, and they can also take credit for other people's work. But then there is the authentic pride. And the authentic pride is the sort of pride it's generated from within. It tells that voice inside your head to shut the bleep up. And it is focusing on making yourself better. It's not worrying about all those other people. It's telling yourself that you're better than the person that you used to be. But here's the thing about authentic pride is you have to take credit for your accomplishments. And if you're anything like me, that can be hard because we've been taught to remain humble and don't be braggy, don't be boastful. So just like everything in life, it's not black and white. It's not like authentic pride and hubristic pride. However easy that would be, it's like this gray issue. So I've come up with one little thing, talking about accepting compliments. Whenever someone gives you a compliment, just say thank you. Just say thank you. You don't have to discredit it. And that can be a way that you are taking credit for an accomplishment. So I have one more thing. The last thing is that there is no such thing as growth without the risk of failure. And so there's this thing that they do in improv class. And what it is called, it's called the failure bow. And no, I'm not an improviser, but watch this. I'm just being stupid, but improvising. No, I'm not an improviser. Okay, so what the failure bow is an improviser goes out on stage. They bomb the scene. It sucks. It sucks. It's so bad. Their scene is so bad. They could go behind stage, feel shameful, wallow in their self-pity, feel sorry, embarrassed for themselves, but instead, they don't. This is what they do. They go out there, they go back on stage, they stand up, and they say loud and proudly, "I failed." I hope that doesn't mean I failed. Okay. I love that. I think it's so cool. I'm a perfectionist, so my whole life, if I didn't think that I was going to be good at something, I may not try. Well, you know what? Those improvisers, those people, they got up on stage and they tried. And if they failed, you really do hope that next time they come up, they don't fail. But, at least they tried. So the summer before starting law school, my husband and I were having this heart-to-heart. Okay, wait, actually, we were just sitting on the couch, but we were just sitting on the couch talking, but it sounds better. So we were talking, and at the time, we had a daughter who was almost 2 years old. She's awesome, amazing, perfect. No, she's not perfect. Nobody's perfect. I know, you all love your kids too. You think they're the best. They are. Okay, so we had a daughter who was almost 2 at the time. And we were just talking about, our family, the future, that we probably wanted another kid, but we didn't know, we didn't really know timing. But we were talking about how my law school program was 4 years. So we didn't want to have to wait 4 years. So we thought we may have a baby during that time. We may try. So I got pregnant in my second year of law school. So what that means is I was working full-time here at ExxonMobil, and I was going to school 4 nights a week in the evenings, and my husband was also working full-time. And my due date was 3 weeks before final exams in the spring of 2017. And so I was taking 3 classes, and 2 out of 3 of my professors called me after class. They were like, "Miss Fix, talk to me after class." I was like, okay. They said, "Do you want to think about deferring your exams?" And I was looking at them thinking, like, what? That's like the stupidest thing in the world, because what deferring your exam means is you don't take your exam in May after January through April of all your classes, but you would take the exam in the following semester. So it would be with the next class in December. So I was like, they were worried about me not making the grade. So yes, I get it. But I went home and I talked to my husband, and he kind of said the same thing. He was like, "Well, let's try. And if I failed, well, then I failed. And you know what? I would be taking that final exam in December anyways." It would have also been a GPA killer, but I was going to try. So, we're packing our bags to go to the hospital to be induced for labor. And I'm like, Hubie's my husband's name. I'm like, "Hubie, where are my flashcards? Where are my outlines?" And he's like, "Sarah, they're right there. They're in the bag." I'm like, "Oh, okay, thank you." So we get to the hospital. Pitocin is dripping. Yes, I had an epidural, so that was, helpful. Although I don't know why, but with my second pregnancy, I was like really itchy. That doesn't matter. So, I'm sitting there in the labor room, and my husband is right there next to me, and he's like, "Sarah, do you want an ice chip or do you want a flashcard?" He's like, take both. He's like, here. So, he's like handing me a flashcard, and I'm like, oh, okay, I got that one here. And then he's like, oh, here, let me give you your outline. And I'm like, but Hubie, did you put my flashcard in the exact spot that it goes in the box? Because it's numbered. And he's like, yes, we got it. It's good. Okay, so had the baby. It was crazy few weeks. And I got all B's that semester. And I'm proud. Well, that wasn't supposed to be the end of the speech. Wow, y'all are going to bring me to tears. I literally had one more sentence. I was just going to say, whenever somebody gives you a compliment, please just say thank you. Thank y'all. Y'all don't have to clap again. Thank you.